The positivity continues.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got Hall of Famer Dan Rashovich in here, and I was remiss. I didn't throw in there that you played for the Argos. So let's say this guy's got the country covered. Ottawa, Toronto, Calgary, Saskatchewan. Am I missing anybody?
Yeah, Ottawa, Toronto, Calgary,
Saskatchewan.
Montreal.
Montreal, 5 teams.
Cup of coffee.
Did you? Well, we said a cup of coffee with the Los Angeles Raiders, and he goes, well, actually, a couple cups of coffee.
Couple cups of coffee.
Good for you, man. I love it.
Coffee in Calgary and a coffee in Montreal.
I'll get to your questions from the viewers in a moment. There are more coming in all the time. We got a sports update. I will just say this: what was announced today officially by the National Hockey League, the Leafs and Sabres will be meeting March 13th in the Heritage Classic at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. So there's that. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daley said this morning the NHL expects 98% of players to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by the start of the season. And week 2 in the NFL kicks off tonight. New York Giants at Washington, 6:20 p.m. Eastern. Mountain, 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Still getting used to that. Shifting my mind to the Eastern time zone here. From Raz, let's do it.
Okay.
16 seasons in the CFL, Hall of Fame worthy.
Cup of coffee.
Couple of cups of coffee. Yeah, you got one now. You got it. They didn't bring me any coffee. They brought you coffee.
That's right.
See how big deal you are?
Thanks, Rod.
This guy, okay. Where do we start on the special teams tackles thing? I'm going to let you do it.
I'll start with
I'll institute a 2-minute time limit on you explaining this.
Oh, okay. Go. I guess so. Does anybody out there know who the ultimate all-time greatest special team player in the CFL is?
Mike Miller.
Not. Hey, I guess officially he has the
Jason Araki.
Mike Miller officially has the most special team tackles and 190 some right now, I guess, right? So, I just kind of brought this little poster. I know you guys can't see this, but the guy in the middle, it's a guy you don't want to meet in a dark alley or lighted football field.
Who is it?
Dan Rashovich. Apparently in 1987. Anyways, I guess officially they only started keeping stats since 91.
Yep.
So I was officially credited with 153. The record's 190 some? Well, in 90, when I was Western All-Star, I had 23 on the official press release. So there's 176, still missing my first 6 years. I guess if you want to take an average of my later careers, and I had 23 in my 16th season, if you want to even take an average of what I did later in my career, which would have slowed down. Yeah, it might have slowed down. Yeah, but I'd probably be up around the 300 mark. And the record's 190 now. If we actually real numbers, could be over 300. I think Vanstone wrote a nice little article and said the numbers would be Gretzky-like. It's funny, when I was walking up your stairs just now, I saw Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I was the Muhammad Ali of special teams on downfield tackler, and I was kind of very complimentary of Rob Vanstone to say the numbers I would have for special team tackles, which would probably 300 plus, would be Gretzky-like. And, and I guess Rod asked me the question, could anybody have more? And I go, well, I played the second most games ever as a defensive player in CFL history.
Behind Mike O'Shea.
By about maybe 11 or 12 games. And, Mike, they have all Mike's numbers because of what he played. So, I guess, I know people could think, oh, is he being self-serving? Well, it's funny. I've talked to alumni. I sent this little article that Vanstone wrote. I sent it to James West. And West, he phones me right away. He goes, that's bullshit. Am I allowed to say that on here?
You just did.
Okay.
You're good.
I won't do it again. But, and other, players like, I've been talking to Bill Baker about it, eh? And Bill's like, that's wrong. That needs to be fixed or put an asterisk or something or, so it's just interesting. I mean,
well,
I guess if you're going to make something a record, there should be some context and some perspective about the greatest of all time.
Yep.
Done.
2 minutes, 15 seconds. You did a pretty good job.
Coffee.
But
time.
I've said, take it to the commissioner, Randy Ambrosi, because I don't think there's too much that I nor Rob Vanstone can do about it. Now, to our viewers.
Yes.
To our viewers, they want some answers from you. Austin, Texas of the North, a viewer on YouTube says, what's your favorite place to play as the visiting team back in the day? Where'd you like going into the most?
I used to like going to, I used to hate going to BC Place.
Really? Why?
Yep. I hated it because I hated that dome because the air was dead and used to suck air like crazy. I actually found Calgary kind of tough to play. Seriously, the elevation is just like, I feel like we were gasping for air all the time. I just found going to Calgary. I mean, I love the city, but going to play there, found it very difficult. Just because, it just felt like we were trying to catch your breath all the time. Just that elevation difference, especially when I was playing in Toronto and we go out there. And even, here in Saskatchewan going there, there's an elevation difference. And it does make a difference on just sort of your fatigue or, your fatigue level. Yeah,
there you go. He didn't like going into Vancouver and Calgary. So
Yep.
I assume he enjoyed going home to play at Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Wall, a late joiner from Winnipeg, says the Walby shirt. Any connection to Chris Walby? Yeah, he won Walby's Warriors Special Teams Player of the Week
in my 16th season for the season.
Yeah.
No, this is for the season. This is for
whatever
season.
It is.
Okay.
From Derek Cousins. Derek Cousins. Dan, you'll always be one of my favorite riders and one of the first rider autographs I ever got. People remember that stuff. Here's another one. Steve Sarkisian, pretty good friend of both of ours. He's now coaching the Texas Longhorns. I think he's going to have a lot of success there. He's coached with the Raiders. He's coached with Alabama, USC.
Washington?
Huskies?
I thought so.
Yeah, maybe he started there. That's way back.
Yeah.
But tell me something about Steve Sarkisian. Because my first year with the Riders was basically your last. You played a little bit in 2000, but you retired in 2000. But Sarkisian... Your thoughts on Steve Sarkisian as a CFL quarterback? Because he was 3 years up here.
Yeah, Steve, obviously offense and defense, it's funny, we're separate in the locker room, and you don't really get to know the guys on offense as well as your defensive teammates. And Steve, just such a likable guy. I mean, that's what I kind of remember about him, and just an easygoing, likable guy. And I guess, I think he broke a bunch of Jim McMahon's records at BYU, what I do recall. And, I don't know if he really got a great shot here, but I guess one of my memories a little bit in terms of as quarterback, and no disrespect, I just thought, sometimes on that wide side out, I don't know if he had, I don't know if he had the arm strength. I really, and not that I'm a quarterback expert, but it just seemed like the ball would maybe, kind of drift a bit. Type thing. I've noticed that with some quarterbacks, you notice them up in the CFL, and it's supposed to be a bigger ball, right? And trying to throw that wide side out, it's a long throw, so that was some of the things, but just Steve's just a pleasant guy, just a great guy.
It's unfortunate, by the way, because Steve doesn't think glowingly of his time with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He doesn't. And actually, when there was a change here and Danny Barrett became the head coach in 2000, they tried to get Dan Farthing tried to get Sarkisian back. He's like, I'm done. I'm done with that league. He just had a bad taste in his mouth. But James Alstra says, who was the best coach you played for in the CFL?
I guess for me personally,
Don Matthews.
Well,
I'm joking.
Hold on. Hey, one of the best couple coaches, Don Southern. Sudsy. He was my first year. I remember I was at home. I made the team, and he phoned me up, and he goes, "Hey, get down here and have a beer with me." I think he was at a pub. Well, he was at a pub.
Quite a coach.
I said, he goes, "You get there, you don't get your ass down here." He goes, "I'm going to cut you." I'm like, "Okay, I'm on my way." Well, he sat me down. He said, "Look, I want you. You're going to come watch game film with me every single morning." And you know what? He basically was a start of a coach taking me under his wing and making me a better player. Because I had a lot, I had quite a bit to learn, I think, coming from playing in, American rules football in university at Simon Fraser to being in Ottawa, because I actually ended up starting as a rookie middle linebacker for Ottawa my rookie year. And he was, and I guess one quick, and this is associated with special teams, so Sudsy, we'd watch film. Well, there was a couple times during the season, he would just stop film and say, and he'd be a little more, use words that I'm not allowed to use here. So you can just imagine that. And he F this, F that.
Oh,
he goes,
don't do that.
No. But he goes, can somebody else make a tackle on special teams? And I guess, and back to another, Don Matthews.
Even though you hated him.
Hey, great coach. And as a person, we had some conflict. But I had some of my best seasons with him, so I have to give credit because the style of defense and some of the things we did, you know what, definitely helped me in my career, and had some great years playing under Don, so. And again, one of the winningest coaches of all time, and a great defensive coach as well, right? So,
you don't want to tell that story about recovering that fumble and spiking it in front of him?
Oh, yeah, we could tell that one, sure. Oh, yeah, well, hey, just because you can still, it's a love-hate relationship, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's a love-hate relationship. And I remember, so when Don left Saskatchewan, and he went to Toronto, and we're playing Toronto at home. I remember that game. Because, anyways, I recovered my second fumble that game on a kickoff, and I ran across the field. It was late in the game. I ran across the field, and I kind of said, the F.
You spiked it in front of him.
I spiked it in front of him. Actually, I held the ball in his face, and I said, have another effing donut, Don. Yeah, and then everybody's just pulling me back. The guys on the team, I'm standing right in his face, just giving it to him. And the guys are pulling me back. That
was awesome.
So that was pretty satisfying, let me tell you. You know what? I don't know. If you believe in something, sometimes you got to stand up for what you think, man.
Absolutely.
Period.
You don't regret it.
No regrets.
From James, great guest, guys. Nice job. He is, absolutely. And by the way, we got breaking news out of Edmonton. The Elks have placed quarterback Trevor Harris on the 6-game injured list. It's happened. And I don't know, I was at goelksgo.com. But here's one from 3 Down. Trevor Harris has been placed on the 6-game injured list. Harris initially sustained a neck injury in Edmonton's Week 6 game against the Calgary Stampeders. The injury has slowly regressed, resulting in Harris removing himself from practice on Wednesday due to increasing pain and other symptoms. I would suggest, as we sit here today with 9 games to go, that's the Elks season. Unless it's a miracle, but that's what's happening in the CFL today. Wow. And before we let Raz go, this guy is a champion of people. He's a champion of children. Cancer research. Let's talk about Believe in the Gold 2021, Raz. Do it.
All right. Can you see that, everybody?
Absolutely. Believe in the gold.
Believe in the gold. Okay, so everybody, gold is the color of children's cancer. This will be the 5th year chairing this charity here in Saskatchewan, in Regina. So we're raising money for children's cancer. Children's cancer gets maybe 4% of all research monies.
Out of all the cancers.
Out of all the cancers. And it's the number 1 disease killer of children. So half the money we raise here stays in Saskatchewan, helps families with any out-of-pocket expenses. The other half goes to a researcher named Dr. Doug Mahoney using viruses immunotherapy. And he's had some major breakthroughs, and that research is being done in Calgary. And so the event is September 25th here in Regina, where we have a virtual and a live event. It'll be held at Wascana. People can go online. They can register or donate. Just go to www.runforchildhoodcancer.ca. runforchildhoodcancer.ca. And if you hit that, I have a fundraising page, and I'm at about, believe it or not, I'm at around 74% of my fundraising total. The total that I'm shooting for is 7,400. I added a couple zeros to my number. I'm probably at about just over 5,000 right now. So if you go there, you can donate to my fundraising page. I mean, just hit YQR, go to runforchildhoodcancer.ca. Hit register, donate, hit YQR, scroll right to the bottom. You'll see my name, Danilo, and you can hit that, and you get a tax receipt. And if you know what, if you want to come to the event, make sure you bring your dogs, because we were going to get St. John's Ambulance therapy dogs, but you know what, bring your dogs, go for a walk. We'll have light snacks and bouncies and face painting.
It's like the fair.
It's like a fair. It's a fair.
That's what it's
Rod's
like.
been there many times.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it is amazing. You know what? So, and we'll have lots of alumni out. I was just on the phone with Bob Poley. He's out hunting for elk.
Of course he is.
Up around the Comus. And I said, Bob, you know why don't you just get a barrel of beer from the Comus, put it out in the field, get the elk drunk, and then you can shoot them probably a lot easier.
A lot easier.
But anyways, I encourage people to take a look at the website and hopefully maybe throw a donation towards my fundraising page. And it's a great cause.
The great Dan Rashovich, everybody, the guy who once fought a horse at the Calgary Stampede. And one.
Spicy.
That's right.
Raz, thanks. Always great.
Rod,
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you for the coffee.
You betcha. He
right,
takes a
man.
mug home every time he leaves, too. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.